In this episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan interviews legendary musician Lionel Richie, who reflects on his extensive and multifaceted career spanning several decades. Lionel, known as a member of the Commodores and a solo superstar, shares how writing his autobiography was a transformative journey. He humorously notes that despite producing a book with over 1,000 pages, his life story remains too vast to fully contain in print. The process of revisiting his past forced Lionel to confront his history with fresh eyes, as he explains the Italian race car driver's philosophy to focus primarily on the road ahead while rarely looking back. Yet, the book made him pause and appreciate how far he's come, highlighting moments of humor, education, and growth that defined his unique path. Lionel also emphasizes the importance of resilience in his journey. Reflecting on his upbringing and career, he quotes his father's wisdom about a great fighter being defined by the punches he absorbs rather than those he throws. The music and entertainment industries are arenas filled with daily challenges, rejections, and personal battles, yet Lionel credits his ability to take punches and bounce back as a key to survival. His perspective on inevitable failures and adversities underpins much of his philosophy on life and creativity, providing an inspiring narrative for anyone facing their own struggles. Lionel takes listeners back to his formative years at Tuskegee University, where he and a group of friends initially formed a band called the Mystics before evolving into the Commodores. At just 19, these young men embarked on a remarkable journey, fueled by ambition and camaraderie rather than formal musical training. Lionel candidly describes his initial insecurities and feelings of being an imposter within the band, compensating by working harder than anyone else. Despite not having formal music education, he couldn't read or write music. Lionel's ability to play by ear and deep passion for the craft drove him forward. The Commodores rose from humble beginnings as a campus group to a dominant force in funk and soul music, often opening for the Jackson 5, which was a pivotal moment for Lionel and the band. He attributes much of their early success to their unity as a band of brothers who were inseparable through various hardships and misadventures. The members' shared experiences forged a familial bond that became their foundation in an industry marked by fierce competition and unpredictability. A significant theme of the episode is Lionel's exploration of creativity as a form of receiving rather than strictly a learned or measured skill. He contrasts the academic approach to music, rooted in structure and theory, with the freer, almost spiritual process he witnessed among Motown legends like Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson, and Berry Gordy. Watching these icons improvise and create spontaneously opened Lionel's mind to a different kind of artistry, one powered by intuition, silence, and openness. Lionel shares how this realization helped him move away from a strict, logical music education mentality to embracing the unpredictable and organic nature of songwriting. He emphasizes the value of simplicity and emotional connection over technical complexity, advising young musicians to focus on memorable melodies and personal style rather than dazzling with musical virtuosity. This philosophy extends beyond music, suggesting that life's most profound moments often come from those willing to receive and trust their instincts. Throughout the conversation, Lionel repeatedly highlights his battles with fear and insecurity, offering a refreshing counter-narrative to the myth of the endlessly confident superstar. Despite his incredible success, he admits to experiencing panic attacks before shows and moments of self-doubt, revealing a human and relatable vulnerability. This openness serves as an important lesson that even iconic figures grapple with uncertainty and anxiety. Lionel's father's advice to always take the next step, even when scared, emerges as a guiding principle. The idea of step forward, scared to death, underscores how growth and success are often rooted in courage rather than absence of fear. This candid admission challenges conventional images of stardom and encourages listeners, especially young artists, to confront their anxieties head-on and keep moving forward regardless. Lionel discusses the unique and often burdensome experience of global fame, which transformed his life in ways both thrilling and claustrophobic. He recalls being swept into a new reality where privacy vanished and normal activities became complicated public events. Simple acts like dining out or attending a friend's wedding turned into highly visible spectacles, often leading to feelings of isolation despite constant attention. The episode touches on the psychological toll of being recognized everywhere and the difficulties of maintaining genuine friendships amid newfound celebrity status. Lionel reflects on learning to navigate this strange terrain, balancing the exhilaration of adoration with the loss of anonymity. The constant spotlight is both a blessing and a curse, one that demands significant personal adjustment and resilience. Lionel provides candid insights into the music business's often harsh realities, recounting episodes of stolen earnings, exploitative contracts, and the presence of criminal figures intertwined with the industry's operations. He underscores the street-smart savvy required to survive and thrive, describing the business world as a battleground where naivety can be fatal. Despite these challenges, Lionel views these experiences as lessons worth learning, often cushioned by his mother's wise, if exasperated, support. He contrasts the entrepreneurial spirit and hustle of industry pioneers like Berry Gordy and the original Motown team against the consolidation and corporatization of the music world in later years. Lionel laments how creative freedom has been increasingly stifled by business imperatives and executives lacking artistic sensibility. This evolution shifted power away from creatives and often hobbled innovation, a dynamic he critiques throughout the episode. One of the most treasured aspects of Lionel's career was his proximity to legendary figures who mentored him and shaped his approach to music and life. He shares awe and respect for the likes of Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson, Berry Gordy, and others, emphasizing that none of these icons had formal training but operated on immense talent and instinct. Legendary producer Rick Rubin also comes up as a creative force admired for his authenticity and ability to tap into raw artistic expression. For Lionel, these relationships were invaluable masterclasses not just in music, but in resilience, authenticity, and self-discovery. He views himself as a perpetual student, constantly absorbing lessons from creatives who dared to be authentic. This ongoing learning process has informed his philosophy and continues to fuel his creativity. The interview delves into Lionel's personal reflections on Michael Jackson, whom he knew since they were children. He paints a touching portrait of Michael's extraordinary talent and charisma, alongside the pressures and isolation that accompanied his unprecedented level of fame. Lionel recounts lighthearted and poignant anecdotes from their youth, including Michael's nickname Smelly, due to clothes often being stolen, illustrating the human realities behind the superstar image. Lionel emphasizes the uniqueness and challenges of navigating fame at the scale of Michael Jackson, describing how Michael's life was shaped by a mixture of protection, control, and overwhelming public attention. The conversation acknowledges the difficulty of preserving normalcy and well-being amid such intense scrutiny, underscoring the heavy cost of superstardom. A recurring theme is the challenge of balancing the demands of a high-profile career with complex personal circumstances, especially family relationships. Lionel touches on navigating his father's and mother's declining health while simultaneously managing world tours and creative output. He conveys the internal conflict of attending to familial responsibilities amid professional commitments, illustrating the emotional labor often hidden beneath public success. This theme also extends to the sacrifices inherent in the life of a touring musician. Lionel reflects on missed family events like reunions and holidays, emphasizing the loneliness and pressures of maintaining personal connections in a demanding career. His candid discussion provides a nuanced view of the costs of success, humanizing the life of a music icon. Throughout the discussion, Lionel repeatedly returns to the idea that the secret to powerful music lies in simplicity and emotional resonance. He explains how the most enduring songs are those with melodies the audience can sing along to and voices that convey unmistakable identity and personality. He stresses that technical prowess alone does not create a connection. Personality and authenticity are key. Lionel challenges young musicians to develop their unique style and voice rather than imitating others or relying on elaborate musical displays. He contextualizes this within the legacy of Motown, where artists like Stevie Wonder, Smokey Robinson, and Marvin Gaye Each had distinct sounds that made them immediately recognizable. This philosophy underscores his belief that music's power lies in its ability to communicate universal human feelings in a straightforward and compelling way. Throughout the conversation, Lionel reflects on the shifting terrain of the music industry, from its raw, entrepreneurial roots to the modern era of corporate consolidation and technological disruption. He describes witnessing major record companies merge into fewer giants, leading to a loss of personal relationships and increased pressure on artists to conform to commercial formulas. He voices frustration over executives without creative backgrounds trying to dictate artistic choices and the impact this has on music innovation. Lionel expresses optimism that despite these challenges, genuine creativity and authenticity will continue to find ways to flourish. He points to the current climate, including the rise of AI and digital technologies, as both challenges and opportunities for artists to redefine their craft and reach audiences directly. In closing, Lionel emphasizes that his story is not one of effortless success, but one marked by continuous struggle, self-doubt, and perseverance. He wants listeners to understand that behind his fame lies a common humanity, filled with fears and vulnerabilities shared by all. His willingness to share these truths is, in itself, a gift, a reminder that greatness often emerges from embracing imperfections. He encourages people to keep moving forward despite setbacks and to recognize that everyone wrestles with their own internal battles. Lionel's reflection on his life serves as an inspiring call to courage, reminding listeners that success is not measured by flawless confidence, but by the willingness to keep stepping forward, scared to death.